Hello everyone, here we are again with the podcast Captain's Log of Oro Jackson, Oro Jackson's Captain's Log, and today we're going to talk about One Piece and some other stuff, of course, like always. We will see through the lines. And hello Div.
Hey, hi there. So you finally got to do the intro for one of the episodes.
Yeah, way more smooth than you with your official letters. Okay,
So
that's.
how are you? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good as well. Tired but good.
Tired.
Mhm.
Tired. And you can explain why, because that's on the first thing on the list we planned for today, right?
Yeah, that's one of the first things we planned for today, and that's what we were up to this past weeks. And I am tired related to what I did, because from last Sunday I was on a trip, and this wasn't a fun or relaxing trip. It was just the opposite, but it had its good points. I was traveling to a wedding of one of our relatives. Like, my family is a really big extended family. Like, the core family is just me, my sister, and my dad. But when we go as look at the whole bigger aspect, there's like the family is more than 250, 300 members. It's like a huge regular Indian connected family, and everyone goes to every marriage and stuff. And usually I prefer to stay away from all these things, but this time it was my granddad who asked me to come with him. So I accompanied him, and the travel time was the most. In fact, we were just there one day for the wedding, but it took 2 days or 2.5 days in total for me to travel up and down, which was the most tiring part. Apart from that, everything was good. Not much I can say about it. It's like, yeah, things happen. Then most of the Indian members on OJ, or uh, people from Asia in general, would understand the talks that come up when you're around this age, 22, 23, 24, about marriage and future and stuff like that. But let's see how it goes. Maybe I'm going to be in Netherlands in 2 years, running away, and maybe not. But what's how has your week been, and what have you been up to?
But yeah, first I want to say I don't think it's only there. I think even some Western people have that. It's not for me, but I think there's quite some people in the other parts of the world that also have that stuff going on around the age. Yeah, but I went to the movie, of course. Always it's about entertainment with me. And this time it was not that good. I It was first time I went to a sneak peek. That's like you kind of get a surprise movie and see what you get. And it's mostly something that hasn't released yet. It probably will release later or maybe never because it's not as good. In my opinion, they shouldn't release this movie. It was a movie, and it felt like they tried to make a bit alternative, a bit art housey kind of movie, where it felt like it was made by someone who just prejudged about it, and it's like what some people say the slower kind of the more alternative movies are about. That's like just taking people drugs and slow stuff, and then to try to make it entertainment, they added action in it, and the action was really bad. And I don't know, it was like, no, don't do this. It was just like unnecessary violence and just random stuff. The concept was pretty fun. It was about the first moon landing. They had to make an alternative plan if it didn't work out, and then was like someone from the CIA was sent to make a movie, and then everything went wrong, and no one that was meant to be in the plan was in the plan, and they end in some British uh, drugs house. They were, yeah, at least were people using a lot of drugs and stuff, and they were when they were making the movie. So That was pretty funny. And in the end, the main people they escaped because they were in problems because they were from Syria, and then they were in uh, Spain, and then they saw the thing on TV, and they weren't sure if it was their part that was on TV or not. So that was a funny part, but for the rest, the the concept was fun, but the how it worked out was shitty in my opinion. Then yeah, that was it. That's that's quick talk about One
You
Piece.
didn't tell the title though.
Yeah, the title was Moonwalkers or
That's
something like that. I'm not sure because I only saw the title one moment at the start of the movie, like the introduction, because it was the yeah, it was a surprise movie, so it's not like I knew where it was going.
all right. That was good to hear, I guess. But you said it's not released yet, so I doubt others would be able to watch it. Would they?
Yeah, I doubt. I don't think so. I maybe in some other countries, because I haven't been to the sneak preview. I saw it after, but I knew it was in the sneak preview. It was the raid. Uh, probably people. I think the raid was from Indonesia, the Philippines. So probably a lot of people from Oro Jackson know it because I know a lot of people are from that area. And there was one movie that was on there, and that's Raid Redemption.
Oh yes, right. I have watched that as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the movies that wouldn't normally release here, but because of it, got in the sneak preview and then totally got big. It released here as well. Yeah, stuff like that, like from other countries or something, and sometimes it's just movies that are available earlier. It's from Indonesia, by the way. I remember.
I see.
Um,
All right. That's good. Indonesia. So that was what we were up to this week. And yeah, basically, 3 weeks in a row, Luke has spoken about movies. Next week, Luke, you have to speak about something else.
Now, probably I will also speak about movie, and I think it's the third time in a row that I speak about movies.
Yeah, that's
If
what, three
it's not
times.
more, I will keep talking about it because that's yeah, I like to talk about it. You have to
You
face it.
you have to also talk about Vikings someday,
Yeah, I know,
someday.
I know.
All right, so that's what we were up to. And if you want to interact with us, let us know what you were up to this week. Leave a post or comment. Just don't hear us talking about what we were up to. This is an interaction that we have with you. So on the thread for the episode, go ahead and post what you were up to this week, and
Yeah,
we can get to know as well, so that it's not only us who is telling these things. You know. Uh, so that's that for what we were up to, and now we will be discussing One Piece Chapter 817, which returned after a break, and the break also caused OJ to break this week because many must have seen that it was there was an hour or so of time that OJ was not loading at all this spoiler day, and we reached a new record for 76,000 unique visits. Look, our previous record was 62,000 or something, and now we're 72K or 73K.
that's great. Yeah,
So even though the chapter wasn't really explosive or not that kind of huge hype, it was mainly that because it was after the break that it got that kind of exposure. And yeah,
I think that was hype, but after seeing it, it was kind of yeah. We'll get to it.
exactly, we'll get to it. And to start it off, I want to speak about the covers. The Shonen Jump cover, in which Luffy is featured with that scary look, and like usually his smiles are, what do you say, innocent most of the times. But in this Shonen Jump cover, he has that skull kind of thing, and then his smile is a bit creepy. It's like a
It's
scary
the
kind of
movie,
smile.
the Gold movie promotion, right?
Yeah, like the Shonen Jump cover and the main chapter cover, both are for the Gold movie
Yeah,
promotion. But he, what I'm speaking about just the Weekly Jump cover, the first page itself,
yeah,
and
yeah. The
it has even this straw hat logo as you know in that really scary, Scully fashion, and
Yeah, not the funny way, but the normal
yeah,
way.
and Luffy's smile is not his own smile. It's not his usual smile. So
Eh,
that was the first thing that caught my eye, and then we go on to the really nice double spread for the Gold movie, and you can see the whole casino setup theme, which is going to be about like the Gold is an island, which is about all these things, and even the antagonist himself looks so cool on the
Yeah,
cover.
is it the antagonist? But yeah, it looks cool indeed. I was not sure. I guessed it, but
No, he's the antagonist. He's the antagonist, and all of these straw hats look so cool as well. For me, in fact, when I saw the cover, I was like, Robin was really looking cool with that black gloves and that look she
yeah,
has. She and I noticed something is that Oda always makes Robin look classy or a bit mature in the covers, while Nami looks childish or uh, doesn't have that same elegance as her. And even in this cover, what I noticed was Nami just laying down somewhere. That's what the feel I get, and it wasn't as like compared to Robin, she isn't looking as elegant, but all the straw
I,
hats are looking cool.
yeah. I'm so hoping that Nami doesn't get kidnapped in this movie because I'm like, oh no, not again. Every movie. No, I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. In fact, there is news about the basis of the plot and the movie, but I haven't really read much into it. Maybe on the next One Piece break we can speak about Gold in detail.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I should. I try to avoid stuff, but
Yeah,
maybe we can.
we can touch it up. And then the chapter starts with a not a huge confirmation. Well, most of everybody guessed that Jack wouldn't have died, even though they said that however you pronounce that, obituary was printed on the paper, but he is alive and
Yeah,
he's in bandages. His ship is broken, like severely damaged, but he's alive. And I didn't really expect him to be this well after going up against that Marine lineup. He looks not in as bad of a shape as he could have been in.
yeah. But I'm wondering, did he achieve the goal? Or I guess not, right? Because that would be big news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
and he looks really mad.
Yep, he's mad and he tore the poor paper that did nothing is torn into pieces.
The poor paper. I'm wondering how he's reading it. So small his hands covering the whole paper.
That's true.
That's what I was wondering in this part the most.
So he's alive, but his ship is and his fleet seems really damaged. At least his main ship seems really damaged, and he himself seems damaged. So, but we don't know the extent of what went through. And I doubt the Marines faced a lot of issues because there was Fujitora, there was Sengoku, there was Tsuru, and
I think Fujitora went a different way, right?
no, Fujitora and Sengoku. Fujitora was escorting the Flamingo, and then
Oh,
Sengoku
okay.
joined on the escort mission. So they just tagged along, and
No, Sengoku was there already. I thought just that Fujitora went another way from the island, but I'm not sure. Maybe he is. Because he's not allowed in the base where they're going, right?
yeah, he's not allowed in any of the bases though. So that was the start of the chapter, and then we go ahead and find out more about Kinemon and the family he serves. The name changed this episode.
Yeah, even in that Japanese chapter. So,
Yeah, so it must there must be some. It was Kogetsu before, and now it's Kozuki. So has it? We'll have to look it up if it was a mistake by Oda, or does it have some
yeah,
to?
probably we will see next chapter. If next chapter is this again, then it will keep like this.
Yeah, and then they show the seal of the family, which also resembles a bird. And after that, we come to know something about Momo, which a lot of people predicted, and even we spoke about this last week,
Yeah,
Luffy.
yeah.
So, yeah, you said that it's a possibility that he's a heir to someone huge, and it turns out that's true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for the rest, it's yeah, there was interesting, but
Exactly.
yeah,
And he made Neko, Mamushi, and Duke to stop fighting and like kneel, and he has them as retainers, and even Robin commented on that if he has such people as his retainers, he's really influential. So I'm sure he's quite the big shot in Wano Kuni. And he also
yeah,
said that to Duke and to Inu and Neko, he said that if you're fighting, if the reason of your quarrel is father, if he saw you two behaving in such a manner, father would be deeply saddened. So that means that Neko and Inu's quarrels have something to do with his father, or at least in some way they're connected.
yeah.
Although I love
Mm,
their dissing and stuff, and I want to see that continue, but it seems that it's not going to continue.
sadly, because yeah. Well, another thing I could want to say. Oh no, wait, that's later. No, later. Okay. Yeah.
All right, like, and then we see son of Lord Oden. That's the name of his father, Momonosuke Kozuki. However you pronounce that, Kozuki. Well, whatever. So it's uh, it's a family, but they call them Lord. It's not confirmed if his father is the shogun or something, but they're surely an influential family, big
Yeah.
family. And Momonosuke is worth a lot, obviously. And well, that doesn't stop people from hating him, though. We see the little perverted side of him again,
Again. Yeah.
more of the comic side, which returns, and even how Brooke and Usopp are like confused, and they're just like, "Are you sure he's not your son?"
Mm, indeed. Yeah. Well, I don't mind it that much. It's just
I'm sure. I don't
not.
mind it, but it seems that people really hate that part of Momonosuke. And what I liked while reading this part as well is Luffy's interaction with Momonosuke. He's like, "This, I don't
Yeah.
care if you become some lord or
He
some
never cares.
huge. It doesn't change how we were. That doesn't mean I have to start acting differently to you." And they start fighting as usual. So Luffy's interaction, I liked that. Like that's the typical Luffy we know.
Indeed, indeed. Just doesn't care about authority.
And then the Neko and Inu alliance, they
Yeah, they become friends again.
yeah they become friends at
Except,
least temporarily, and the whole island is cheering due to that.
yeah,
It's like they're like it's a miracle. So and I think also come to know that they've been it's been 5 months since they've had issues or something like that, or at least that's what I get from their speech bubble.
oh, I'm not sure. I don't think I got that, but
Like he
well,
says that Neko says it's not been more than a few months. Uh, then he says, I guess these guys' exuberance will liven up the place a tad. So he just said it's not been more than a few months, and then they called for a truce. So what I gathered from that was that maybe for the last few months is when they have been having the most uh, turmoil within themselves, like not within their people, just them to what we spoke about last week, their fight between themselves.
yeah. Well,
And
we'll see that later, I guess. It's
yeah, we will in fact because now this is going to continue. And people also told, or rather, it was told in the speech bubble that Inu and Neko have the same symbol as Kinemon.
yeah, indeed.
So we'll definitely be learning more about them. And it's funny. I also forgot to mention how it's not just Momonosuke who's misusing the kindness of Nami and being perv, but even Nami's like, if your daddy is a lord, he must have treasure in his castle.
Yeah,
So she's already up to her own plans and schemes.
indeed. So evil.
Yep. And basically, the chapter until now has just been a relaxing chapter. Like the last two chapters were explosive with information, with lots of emotions, and now it's just catching up and having fun, sort of.
Yeah,
And they start traveling to where Raizo is, and they go through this really nice path, secret path. And I see that Nekomamushi is walking with Chopper on his head and Luffy on his back.
yeah,
It's just
indeed.
it's
Just
really,
ride him.
yeah, just riding him, and he's and imagining all the way how a ninja would be like. They're just presuming he can do this and he can do that, and he'll look like this and that.
Even yeah, almost all of them.
And there was one thing that caught the attention that caught my attention, and I think yours too, and everyone's, is that when Momonosuke says that the closer we get to the veil, the more I can hear his loud voice. Now that veil, and then Neko and Inu said that there was another who said much the same. Indeed, I too remember him. So they're speaking about some mischievous
Yeah,
character here.
yeah, I guess. Indeed. Yeah,
Like
but
if it was Luffy saying that he can hear the voice of the whale, and if Neko and Inu said that it would be implied that it was Roger, but this time it's Momo who says it, and he's scared a bit as well. He's shivering, and then the other two says they don't have a really happy expression when they say that either. It's just I don't get the. It's more of a concerned or even a bit unhappy. So maybe there's something going on. I don't even know what the veil reference is. Someone you can clear it out in the comments if you know something. Maybe I
yeah,
missed something out.
I'm not sure. But it's yeah, then it's definitely not right. Yeah, the either group guy that they're talking about because
Yeah,
Kinemon is saying it's like His Highness, and I think that's referencing to him. Another thing that I noticed now is just I don't know why they showed him with the dots. What does that matter? That's what I'm wondering. Why is he shown with dots?
indeed. That's true.
That just questioned me. It's like, is he? Well, yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get. Like, things will be wrapped up. It's not going to be left to answer for ages, at least, because it's going. These kind of small questions are always wrapped up within the arc when the characters are still relevant.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
once they just keep going more ahead and ahead, and then they say then we meet the ninja that every character there, like Luffy, Frankie, Usopp, everyone was hyping up the ninja, and then we finally see Raizo.
Indeed, and they even the characters say it. What a huge letdown.
Yeah, that panel of what the huge letdown, it was so hilarious. And the fact that Raizo was crying and like he was, why didn't you give me up? Why didn't you hand me over to the enemy? I noticed that the people who were getting me food were wounded, and is the country safe and stuff like that. He's concerned that they have him tied up, and at first I didn't notice what he was tied up to, but later when they zoom out and show that like the whole panel, you see that it's a poneglyph, and it's a red poneglyph this time.
Yeah, wait, let's get to that later.
Of course, of
First
course.
character, because
Yeah,
yeah, I one thing is he has a moon scar on his face. I don't know if that is that's something I noticed, and yeah, that's something. And one thing I want to say, I really hope that we get to see cool people from Wano, because this guy is like Kinemon is kind of cool, how he looks, but the other, I forgot his name, the painter, he's funny and all, but he doesn't look badass. I like to see some badass samurai, or at least
I'm
one
sure.
old guy.
I'm sure we'll see some badass characters, but I think I think Oda is also going to some like I have seen some people complain. I've seen some people talk about the character design of Raizo, and we will as well. But let's speak about Raizo now. And I think it's he's taking more of a unique route with it. He's not
Yeah,
really uh, concentrating so much on them looking badass, but at the same time, he's making them interesting as well. So I'm sure we will get badass, especially as antagonists, if there is, or there's a lot of characters who are going to be introduced when we go into the Big Mom arc or Kaido arc, and Wano is going to be involved now since it's already half involved with Zhao. So yeah, we can expect to see more and more characters, but I do I do get your point of badass people. Like we have to see someone who is really a samurai who at least in terms of badassery he equals or is more than Zoro. That's something we would expect from Wano. So I'm
yeah,
sure I'm sure we will get to that. And then do you share the same opinion as Luffy and Usopp? Is it about the letdown?
yeah, I do. It was a letdown, but I'm fine if I get to see some other cool stuff later.
I think he made it up in the later chapter. So sorry, later pages of the chapter.
He
We'll come to
does.
that. We'll come to that.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
then
now to the poneglyph, because that's
yeah, now to the red poneglyph.
yeah, that's
It's
really
first
interesting.
yeah that like first the poneglyph, and then it's a red poneglyph. So I'm sure we're going to be told if there is a difference between red or and the regular poneglyphs. I'm I'm pretty sure that since the color is different.
Yeah, I
Uh,
thought every poneglyph had a different color, but now it's like they say it's something else.
Till now, all the poneglyphs were shown in just that bluish or blackish color, right? Like it was same up until now, all of them.
I'm not sure about it, but yeah, it seems.
So the red poneglyph, which has been there for over hundreds and hundreds of years, and the fact that Zao itself existed for more than 1,000 years, like the Zunish, the elephant, uh, gives a lot of possibilities that it may have hints towards the White Century, and maybe this Kogetsu family, or what I don't know the new name so well. Maybe they're connected somehow as well.
Yeah, no. I'm looking up now, and I thought it already. The both are blackish indeed, like, but the one in oh, never mind, that's unknown. I thought it was never mind. Okay, yeah, they're all blackish. Yeah, but what I'm thinking, I think most of them are about the history of the islands and slowly going to the the void century. But I think this can be related to the because that's also a lot of successful stuff going on. What people thinking this is more related to the Uranus thing, the third big weapon thing that's talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Poseidon and
yeah, exactly. It could lead to something. It could just we know that the one in Arabasta actually led to the weapon which Crocodile was looking for, and that was Pluton, right? If I'm right, he was looking for Pluton. The location of the weapon was actually in that. But this, oh, I'm sure we will get an answer. So there's no point in talking too much about that. Like next chapter or
yeah,
next to next
okay,
chapter is when it's. I mean, we can speak about it, but it always happens that whatever we think, most of it just goes to the trash can. It ends up going to the trash can.
yeah, it doesn't matter. But okay, we can do it next week.
Yeah, but I mean, as you said, it could be containing weapons, or it could just be, it could be a part of like the poneglyph that says the true story of the end, or something like that. But I'm sure the red being special will have a significance, and I can already see many theories about it. Most of it will be debunked, but it's good to read it and stuff. So gives you different aspects of how people take it in their own way. But
Yeah.
yeah, the fact that Robin there itself is a sign that she's going to read it out next chapter, and of course share the details of it. So we'll be aware of this soon enough.
Yeah, I really hope that. That's the most. That was the really most interesting thing of the chapter for me. The poneglyph. It was like, oh yes, one we get to see one again, and then it was even a special one. So
Yeah, and after that, the following couple of pages are just filled with more comedy of them uh, trying to get Raizo to do stuff they want, which they think that ninjas can do. And what I was surprised was during this whole comic scene was that even Zoro and Law joined in, and they were like, uh, Law told something about clone jutsu, and uh, Zoro says something about hiding in the ceiling and getting pierced by spears. You don't see these two characters joking around much. Like they're mostly serious, especially Law, and then he still got into the whole ninja hype, and
yeah,
then Frank.
but Frankie is explaining that right. He's like,
Exactly. Frankie says
all
all
men
men.
are obsessed with ninjas.
Yeah, exactly. All men are obsessed, and the expression he says it with is so serious. Like you really rarely see that kind of serious Frankie
Yeah,
apart from battles, and then he's just full on serious, and he's like, all men are obsessed with ninjas.
yeah, and then we just get joke after joke after joke.
Yep, it kept following with jokes, and the whole chapter was light-hearted, and then it comes to an end with Raizo complying with their requests, and he does ninja arts. He does smoke release jutsu, and
Shuriken's clothing.
yeah, ninja art clone jutsu, flower shuriken, and I loved how he introduced himself.
As Rise of the Mist, or what?
No, he says that the ladies cringe when they see me. My foes revile me, and I am riser of the mist in flesh. Nin nin. So he kind of fits into all the uh, conceptions of ninjas that Luffy, Usopp, Frankie, and the rest had, and they're all awestruck, and they're like, Raizo is our god, and the pose in which he ended it with, like with the smoke and him doing all the jutsu and all, I found that was really cool, and many people pointed out similarity to that pose with Jiraiya's pose from
Yeah, I
Naruto.
wanted to say something about all the reference with Naruto and all the hate and the stuff. At least I see a lot about it.
Hate?
Okay, I
I
think
didn't
it's
see
really a
any.
cultural thing here, because you need to see it as it's about it's like his world, and it's like Oda's making it, and in his culture of mindset, it's like a ninja. If he thinks of a ninja, it's the Naruto universe, of course, because he's close friends with it, and everything is. It's just. It's not stealing anymore. He's just more. At least some people say that. It's more like an honorable mention if it is like that, because yeah, he's just saying like Naruto made a new mindset of ninjas for a generation, and like even I see a lot of people over the ages making things. If people think pirates, then you see someone posting. Some people think about Pirates of the Caribbean. Some people think about Assassin's Creed. but I always think about One Piece. That's what kind of voice people make, and it's kind of the same with ninjas and Naruto. It's like maybe people in your area think about other stuff about ninjas, but the the real manga Shonen Jump fans they think about Naruto, and that's how I think it is. It's not
Yeah.
good or bad. It's just yeah.
I haven't I since I read the chapter just today, and I haven't caught up with all the discussions going on in the fandom. I need to have a look into it. But if there is like hate or saying people saying that it's getting copied from Naruto and all, that's stupid because first off, there's a mindset in Japan regarding ninjas. There's like what do you say? What's the word? It's everyone already has that kind of concept that ninjas can disappear, ninjas can create clones of themselves, they use shurikens. So those things you need to understand is like it's common in Japan for them to see a ninja that way. And as Luke said, even if there are, like uh, instances that are similar to Naruto, which I'm not too sure because I haven't read uh, further into it. But if there are, it's more like a homage or a uh, you know, kind of reference to Naruto. Maybe as as Luke said that Oda is going that way, saying that Naruto has created a new image for ninjas in general. But these aspects that uh, Raizo showed are common conceptions that ninjas are or used to be this way. And in other animes and series as well, if you look up ninjas, like example in Gintama, ninjas are great at hiding and disappearing, and they're great with shurikens. And disappearances have always been ninja special. Like there are emoticons for ninjas are always related to disappearance. So it's not so much of just copying. It's more like he's taken multiple aspects of how a ninja is presumed to be and implemented in his work.
Yeah. Okay, that's it for me about it all, I guess.
Yeah, and the chapter, it's not something we can speak much about because it was a light-hearted chapter and it was more of comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, indeed. But there are long and short chapters. We don't have to.
Yeah, exactly. So this is one of those chapters that you should just sit back, relax, and smile. Basically, don't overthink about it because it was more of an introduction to Raizo, a wrap up to the uh,
Only overthink about the poneglyph.
yeah Poneglyph
Poneglyph.
and about Momo's bloodline. That's the two things that
Yeah,
come out of this
and
chapter.
the voice thingy. But it's just small teasers that's not really revealing, and so it's just nice. And we'll
Yeah,
see. It probably a lot of some stuff can already be answered next chapter.
and the voice of a whale. He says a whale, so we need to find out what that whale is. I mean, if they've already revealed what the whale is and I have forgotten, that's really bad of me. Usually I don't, but
Yeah, I don't know either.
I don't think it's really been said what or who the whale is, or maybe it was a mistranslation. It was they were speaking about the elephant, Zunisha. I'm not sure. We'll mostly get answers to that as well, and whom the two Inu and Neko were referencing to as well. So these three things are the main highlights of the chapter, and I also look forward to Raizo in the future chapters. I'm sure he's going to be as goofy as Kinemon and
Yeah,
what's the other guy's name? Holy, I have
I keep forgetting it.
Saiken is going to kill me.
Um, that's- at least the drawing guy,
Yeah.
the guy that does the drawing
How
ability.
could we both forget his name? Okay, this is embarrassing. All
It's
right.
not embarrassing. It's fine.
I'm sure Raizo is going to be as goofy as Kinemon and the other guy. And I also look forward to like if there's any fights that Raizo is involved in. I really look forward to seeing battles because it'll be interesting with a new kind of art, in fighting style, and I'm sure we're going to see more of ninjas and more of samurais and more cool stuff in Wano Kuni. So I can't wait for Wano Kuni either now.
Yeah, there's still, yeah.
I know.
And the name is Kenjiro, by the way.
Kanjuro, oh yes. Saiken, I'm so sorry, I forgot his name. Like, Saiken has been campaigning for Kanjuro, the whole COTY from the start, and even in our team chat, he keeps talking about Kanjuro, and I
Well,
forgot him.
Kenjiro is funny, but yeah. It's funny that he's a good example of having a good devil fruit, but like being crappy.
Well, that's what Oda does, doesn't he? He usually does this. I mean, imagine that devil fruit in Akainu's hand. It would have been a completely different fruit than what it is in
Yeah.
his hand, Kanjuro's hand.
Or in Usopp's hands, because Usopp can draw.
Yeah, indeed.
Never forget
Or
that.
in Luffy's hand.
That would be just as disastrous as this is.
It would be even worse.
Yeah, probably.
Alright, so that brings us to a wrap for the One Piece discussion. And as we said, not a lot to speak, but it was an interesting chapter, and lots going to be answered next week, hopefully, and in the coming weeks itself. So now we move on to the question and answer section, and probably the favorite section for many of our listeners. Do you want to go ahead and say out the first question, Luke?
Yeah, because this one I found pretty interesting, because I think last week or the week before I was talking about this in the team chat. And it's what do you think about Hawkins and Sengoku's Buddha awakening? How you imagine it? And that was from Junior Khan, I think it is. So and he said that we are the best. That I am the best. Okay, what is the awakening of the Zoan types? It's like you're full in the mode of thingy, and you get more bloodlust thingies and stuff. But that's what made me think, why does Sengoku want to be in Buddha form all the time? He's not a normal Buddha, he's a giant Buddha. So that would not be really easy. It's like it's only making stuff harder for him if he would be in awakening mode.
Exactly. Like the Zoan awakening, what we saw from Impel Down at least, it was that they were stuck in their Zoan mode itself. They had more strength and more reliability, but they were stuck in their Zoan mode. So what you're saying is, if he would awaken his fruit, he would just be stuck in his huge golden Buddha form, wouldn't he?
Yeah. And that's like, that made me think like, do you want that? But maybe we get another vision of awakening mode, and I agree of so on fruit. I really hope that, because that makes stuff way more interesting. And then you also asked about Hawkins, and let me first see, he's not a Zoan, right?
He's a Paramecia.
Yeah, then I was right. I was thinking, I don't know much, because I don't know the devil fruit that much, to be honest. We know we can change in the whole thing, and he can even create other ones, and maybe he is already awakened. Because he was, when we saw him, I think more than once, before and after time skip, he made the fine thingies or whatever it is come out of other stuff. That's like what Don Flamingo was doing with his twins as well, right? That was his awakening. That's why I was.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is awakened. But yeah, maybe it's a plot hole. I'm not sure, or maybe it's just I'm overthinking it.
Now the whole awakening thing needs to be explained more by Oda, and we need to see more of it. Just like how Haki was introduced at first, just basics, and then we get a huge full blown explanation. I'm sure we'll see more of awakening as we go on in the new world. Uh, for Doflamingo, his awakening was turning things into string, like turning everything. Usually, what Paramecia can do is like Luffy can extend his body as rubber only to a certain extent, and he can't turn other things into rubber. So it's same with Doflamingo; he has limited strings. Uh, but with his awakening, he could turn everything around him into strings, all the objects. So if we were to think in the same way, if Hawkins has awakened his fruit, he would be able to turn his environment around him into those straw thingies, or maybe he can keep making voodoo dolls unlimited. Who knows? Um, and with Sengoku's, I agree with Luke. Why would Sengoku want to awaken his fruit if all the Zoans have the same awakening? I'm sure many Zoan users would uh, willingly not awaken their fruit.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I don't. Overall, I'm not sure how much we will see of Sengoku in battle.
yeah, he's
Um,
already retired now, and he's like
yeah,
an instructor, so we're not going to see
but you
much.
never know.
That's true.
Then the next question, I guess.
Yeah,
Als we want me to read it, okay.
yeah, you selected it. Go ahead.
Oh, which arc would you rather have after the Zhao Big Boy after the Zhao arc? And then it's Big Mom arc or the one Kuni arc or another one. Well, I think it would be cool if the group kind of splits.
Question is by Chris, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why you want the honor of naming that we name you. Just be happy that we pick your question. Okay, but I would be most interested if they split and maybe even somehow the plots later fuse together again. And yeah, something like that. Because yeah, that would be interesting. And else, yeah, I would go for the Big Mom arc. I'm more psyched for that than the Wakoni, to be honest. Wakoni Kunikuo.
Wanakuni.
Yeah.
I also would agree with Luke. I am looking forward more to the Big Mom arc. But like, which arc would you rather have immediately after Zhao? I think that the plot could go in multiple ways. Oda has kept it open as of now. I mean, as Zhao keeps continuing, we may get things tied up towards a certain direction. But as it stands now, you have 3 to 4 directions the story could take ahead of uh, this chapter, which the most recent chapter 817. So I feel that it could go the Kaido route, it could go the Big Mom route. They could first go to Wano Kuni before attending both of them. It could be a different separate arc, though I doubt Oda would go for 2 arcs without Sanji. But you never know the progress which we can see now. But I mostly I think that it's going to be Big Mom arc, and I want it to be the Big Mom arc because of all the new uh, variables in the arc, with the wedding, with the Windsmoke family, with the tea party, with the hype behind Big Mom's invitation, and the whole scenario surrounding Sanji.
And you should remember the year of Sanji.
The year of Sanji, yes, and that's why I said that I would doubt if Oda goes any other route, because would he keep Sanji out when he's already said that it would be surrounding him this year, or at least that the plot would tie up everything regarding him. So let's see. Let's hope for the best. But I want a Big Mom arc personally. I would rather have a Big Mom arc after Zhao. So that was the second question, and then our last question for today is again by Chris. Uh, what are the goals for Oro Jackson in 2016? Much like New Year's resolutions. Well, let me start off by saying that one common goal, which is there all years, is to make Oro Jackson bigger than we were last year, and that is that how we start out 2016. By the end of 2016, we should be multiple steps ahead, not just one, not just two, but multiple steps ahead, which we did last year, and we can do it even bigger this year because I believe that the more the chapters are hyped up, the more visitors and members we get. So I look forward to OJ and in fact the whole team. We have one goal always, all years, and that is to expand OJ more in terms of members and content and quality content. The second goal I have for OJ personally, and something that we also are working towards, is improving the Water 7 sections and in general making Oro Jackson more friendly to other series as well so that we can start expanding to a wider category of people. We can get more members who are maybe not primarily One Piece fans or don't like One Piece as much, but they can still feel at home on OJ. So we are not going to turn into a forum which is for all anime and manga yet, but at least slowly expand towards the possibility of doing that in the future, because we can't do that immediately after One Piece stops. It has to be a build up, and Oro Jackson as a community is different from all other communities. So why not expand and let our community grow with even fans of other series? Even although we will always have One Piece as our priority. So take steps towards. Don't make. It's not a goal to make OJ uh, a general anime and manga site. That's not the goal, but the goal is to take steps towards making it more friendly for fans of other series. The third goal, I think, for me would be to just continue improving OJ's technology and interaction. It's 2016, and there are still some things that feel a lot 2012ish. And there's a lot of updates coming out from Zenforo's side and things that I have planned out. Uh, so yeah, technology wise, improving OJ to make it more modern and to make it more user friendly, to remove the limitations that we face. With that would be my third goal, and of course interaction, as in continue Captain's Log, try to talk with as many people as I can on OJ, improve our social media responses and postings, things like that. That would be my answer for this, and Luke has more to say.
Yeah, indeed, I agree on those things. And with that, I will also doing some other stuff, doing some legal stuff that's not really interesting for most of the people. We're also doing something video related. With it's in the get straight in the building phase, it's related to YouTuber stuff. So want to do that, which could be really interesting. And we hope to put up all of our big events this year. If you know what if you know what I mean, so people will know and will fall off the chairs now and die heart attacks. But yeah, we're working towards that as well. We hope we can get it to work this year. Probably will.
Probably will. We probably will. It's been pending for a long time. So basically that's the answer. Like six things compressed. There's the list keeps going on, and we don't set any certain goals at the start because running a website, managing a community is everyday process. You can't make goals and say that we'll reach it by here, but we have a sort of a roadmap, not necessarily goals, but it's, as I said, it's like, so it's something like self improvement that you work on every day. The same is with OJ. You need to keep working on improvements, technology, ideas every day to keep things fresh, and that's what has kept OJ alive until now, hasn't it? The fact that
Yes.
we keep doing new things and come up with new stuff. Most of the other communities die out because they stick to one thing, and eventually it gets boring. But we try to keep it uh, eventful all around the year. If not on the fun side, at least on the user. Like last year, we had huge updates on the side of user friendliness and technology wise, and on the second quarter of this year also, I expect a lot. So yeah, let's see. Let's
Yeah,
hope for the best. That
like
is what I
improving
would
the
say.
speed and stuff. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily what people notice, but yeah, maybe they notice it. But
A lot of what we do is not noticed by the front end because, and we don't want to make announcements for every small little thing either. But a lot goes on, and most of the team members know every little detail that goes on. And the fact that, let me just say that running Oro Jackson, a community of our size, isn't easy. It was easy when we were small. It was a lot less expensive when we were smaller. But as we continue growing, the scale of organization and the scale of things we do, it gets bigger. Now decisions we take aren't just affecting hundreds of members, it's affecting thousands of members. Uh, the changes we make isn't just affecting a small community, it's affecting a big community. So work gets slowed down eventually as we get bigger. It's because we have to take in a lot more factors into account, but we are always working towards the improvement and betterment. And mainly our goal always is to make OJ more fun, more better, and the best.
yeah, and with that, there's also a part that it kind of shifted. Like first we like when we just started, we were basically making the content ourselves, and it at some point got taken over by a moderator. But uh, then now we barely do the content. That's mostly the members. So, and the but when it was taken over by the moderators, we were more doing the management of members and stuff. And that's now taken over by the moderators. And because there's so many members, we also have quite a lot of good working moderators to fill that, and then we can do the next step, and maybe even after that. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
even in work we do work growing. Like yeah, it's step by step getting higher on stuff we do, having time for stuff. So it costs more time, but we also have kind of more time for other stuff. So, but still, since it's bigger, it doesn't feel like a work for us. It feels quite different. I think, yeah, at
yeah,
least for
yeah.
me.
It does. And you brought up a good point as well, like how even the team has grown with growth of OJ. So basically, we all share different responsibilities, and at times it overlaps. But the team being there, the moderators being there, they help us by sorting out things. Like most of the time, I'm involved in everything, and sometimes I overwork myself and get scolded by everyone. But the fact that me and Luke get more free time to concentrate on things other than user management, handling reports, managing the threads and such, we can concentrate on the other things. So keep up the good work, Team OJ. We are always grateful, and so are the members. And basically, let we always keep sailing to make OJ the best. And to many, it's already the best, but we still have a long way to go to be the number one, which we will be one day.
We are number one. Well, more than number one.
So that brings us to a wrap of OJ's Captain's Log episode 5. We'll meet you next week. Stay awesome until then. Bye bye.
Bye bye. See you later.